the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear.
Did you have like a general store in your town, or did you have to eat only what you grew? Did you have cows, or did you got to go buy your milk?
We had cows, chickens, hogs.
Anna's writing a book. She needs to have this information.
Well, that's good.
Well, she is. She's trying to keep on. Ooh, Lord.
Well, like now you can go to the grocery store and get anything you want.
Well, you couldn't get all that. They didn't have as much prepared food then as they do now. World War II was when they got canning.
My favorite part.
Was brought into it. Because the people like starved to death in the war of the Civil War. Mm-hmm. And then the World War II, they had conquered canned foods so they could feed the soldiers better. So every time you had a war, something good came out of it like that, you know. So.
That's where they started making Jeeps, too.
No, because they did. All the wives stayed, World War II, all the wives stayed home and they went to work in the factories because that was what they did.
Went to, I just seen that picture today, this woman that said, yes, we can.
Right.
Oh, what's her name?
Angela Johnson.
Well, what's the poster's name? Something
Because
Rosie
they-
Rockin' or
Rosie the Riveter.
Rosie the Ribbon.
Riveter.
Right,
Yeah.
because they made parts for all of everything that they were sending over for the war efforts. That's what they did.
They all left, and there weren't no men left,
Right.
you know, except the old men.
Or the young boys, right.
And the boys went young too, younger than they should
Well,
have.
yeah, of course they did.
Because the war got bad in World War II, really bad. Almost lost America then.
Do you remember Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. I do.
About 10, right?
10 or 11 or something like that.
Did you see it? You didn't have a
we
TV to
didn't
see it?
see and hear as much then as we do now. But we saw it in the paper where when they caught Hitler doing the people so bad, prisoners, and send them to death chambers and all that. And they'd have pictures of this one girl had long hair, and they'd kept her in a cage or something that's so long, and her hair was all full of lice and everything. They showed pictures of that in the paper. But we didn't see half of what went on, really. But it got bad enough. My dad was 57 years old, and they was fixing to draft that age limit.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
How did it all affect you guys, like day to day?
didn't affect us as much as it did some people because there weren't any boys in our family. But my cousins and everything all had to go.
And luckily, your brother was the youngest.
Yeah, he was just a baby.
Yeah.
But it affected us, but they weren't nobody back here to work except men and women and old men to grow the crops.
So then quite a bit.
Yeah,
it affected
grow the
you
crops
guys.
and everything. And they wouldn't let the black go at first. And then everybody got to saying, you know, the black was doing this and the black was doing that in towns. And they finally let the black,
What do you mean?
like beating people up and robbing and all that, which they weren't, but that was just the tale. They let the black go into the military before it was over. And they were some good soldiers.
Right.
And we had to buy food with food stamps.
But that was the norm, though. Or
Now,
that was
it
census
was
of
free food
Social
stamps.
Security.
It was, you had to have a stamp. No matter how much money you had to have a stamp to buy that sugar.
If you didn't have
They
a stamp,
rationed
you couldn't
it
have
out?
sugar?
They rationed out all the
Oh, it's
food.
Ration, yeah.
Yeah.
And people would buy them off the black market and all that. But the biggest families we had more stamps of coupons than we had money.
Well, you said your mom ended up making like a jelly cake instead of something else because she didn't have any icing, right?
Just apple jelly or something like that, put on the cake when you,
So food was rationed?
huh?
Food was rationed
Yeah,
for
we didn't
families.
have stamps.
There was lots of times you couldn't
It
get,
didn't matter if you had money to buy food, that if you ran out of stamps, you just couldn't get it.
couldn't get it.
What about, you said you were, picking cotton?
What about it?
Well, they wanted to know about it.
Huh?
You're picking
I
cotton.
picked it. What else you want me to tell you? Look at my hands.
What?
They just wanted to know about it, just,
I picked cotton, yeah. Everybody else did too. Make a living.
What was it like?
Hard,
It's thorny, isn't it?
hot. The burrs with sticky hands.
have you seen a piece of cotton?
I've stopped
It's
to
only
pick some
little
up.
burrs, and that's the white puff.
Yeah,
I was in the FFA.
Okay.
now they do all that by machine.
They leave so much though.
They do. They make like they don't. But
Which
they
a
do.
black man invented, by the way.
What?
Cotton gin.
Ironic.
Thank you. Where's February? Is it February still?
Work smarter, not harder, evidently.
Oh, it's April. Damn. Missed about a month.
But it wasn't bad times. That's
No,
all we
lots
knew.
of
And we had a lot of fun. It's good times too.
But you
about-
don't get paid hourly. You get paid,
By the
Per weight?
pound or by
By the
the
pound.
day or something like that. Cotton was 50 cents a pound or 50 cents a hundred, 50 cents a hundred, I think.
50
It
50
was.
cents 100 pounds
Yeah.
Good
of cotton.
Yeah.
Lord. How long did it take to pick
Yeah.
100 pounds of
I
cotton?
couldn't pick 100 pound in a day.
You could.
No.
Could your dad?
Johnny
No, her
could.
dad,
He
she
could.
was married by this time.
Oh wow! So
She was
Johnny could pick 200.
Papa had to do it too.
Of course, everybody
200 pounds
did.
of cotton a day.
Huh?
That's a lot.
That is
Johnny could
awful.
pick 200 pound easy, and I'd work myself.
But that's still only bringing you $1 a day.
Yeah.
And then whatever she made.
But you know, material, you could buy material for 10 cents a yard.
Oh.
See, that's the difference there. And I don't know what milk and, I don't know what sugar cost either, but milk and lard and stuff like that, I don't know what it cost. But it wasn't expensive like it is now.
So you had the essentials for relatively affordable.
Yeah.
I would have wooden dentures back then, wouldn't
Huh?
I?
Wooden
I said I'd have
dentures.
wooden dentures back then. Huh?
No, they had dentures. Some people had them. I don't know anything about them because
Probably.
nobody I knew did, but they did. Some people have them.
What about moonshiners? They
Well,
grew,
that was-
they're
that
all
was
around
pretty
here too, right?
prevalent, Because they had that back in the Walton days. They had the
What?
moonshine.
Moonshiners?
Oh Lord,
Running
they
the
was
whiskey?
always here.
Really?
They're still here.
They're still here. They-
What?
Moonshine is
Moonshine.
still very prevalent in
Bootlegging.
this
Yep.
area.
In Tennessee too.
And Tennessee.
You know that's how NASCAR was invented?
I've had real moonshine.
Down on the
too.
river where we lived down in, it was called Oak Buggy River. That's the name of the river that went through down there. And we lived down in that area. It was always moonshine down there. Still is, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it's legal in Tennessee now.
My-
Well, they just mass produce it the same way they did, and it's still. But
I don't think moonshine's ever legal.
you can't. No.
I think they gotten very sophisticated and can't catch
There
it.
was a woman that we knew, I think we worked for them at one time. She was an uppity woman, and she had a son, and they were going down the river with a keg of moonshine in the boat, and it tipped over, and he got drowned. She said it, you know, how come it couldn't have been one of these old poor boys?
Uh-oh. That's terrible.
Yep, that's what they said.
Oh, my goodness. Like they were worthless?
Yeah, that's what she thought. I thought, well, them old poor boys wasn't hauling moonshine down the river either.
Yeah.
But my uncle
Tell 'em,
got,
no.
That's drunk driving right there back in the day. That's DUI.
That was drunk
Y'all?
driving.
That's
Yeah.
right.
but my uncle got killed. He was crippled, and he had a good friend, and he made axe handles to sell. Of 'cause he couldn't follow a mule like other people did. And so he gave his friend one, and everybody was gone to town that day from this little place they lived. And they got drunk and got in a fight, and he beat him to death with the axe handle he gave him.
Oh, wow. That was your uncle? Goodness.
Then we went and dug up his brains and looked at them.
Whoa.
My cousin,
On the ground like they're supposed to be?
he will, but where he was killed at, my cousin said, "You want to see where his brains is?" And we said, "Yeah." So he got down in there.
Some things have not changed completely.
Man.
No, things ain't changed.
If somebody had said that, if John or somebody had said that to us, we would have been like,
Yeah.
I had a pet iguana one time I buried, and I tried to remember where it was so I could see if it would mummify it. But it didn't work.
Wow. I don't know if I'd have dug up brains, but
Well, he did. We looked at him, you know. I think it was just blood, but anyway.
man. Well, if he got beat to death, it might have been brains. How long after he died?
We did that. The next couple of days, we was down there at his house, and
Good Lord.
my cousin told us, me and his sister and my sister, said, "Y'all want to see where he was killed at and see his brains?" We said, "Yeah." So we were running down there to see.
Poke him with a stick.
Well, you,
No, he had the stick. We just watched.
No, because whenever you guys would go and play and stuff, she was telling me about not learning to swim. Tell me
I
about that.
didn't, because we'd go by this,
You were younger than the
yeah,
others.
it was well, we called it the Hessan hole. Why not? But it was a creek in the woods.
Yeah.
And we'd go there, and they'd tell me on the way, "I'm going to throw you in." So I'd climb the tree. So I didn't learn how to swim up a tree, you know.
so were you not very close to your uncle then, since he went and poked his brains with a stick?
Well, closest people were, I guess.
People,
Close enough to poke his brains? No,
but people died
Yeah,
quite frequently back
Yeah.
then. I mean, just of all kinds of things. You know what I wanted you to tell them about? Remember the backwoods medicine and the wives' tale where they said that they would put a knife under your bed to cut the pain, and they would put what would they do? You put a knife or an axe under your bed to cut the pain. And then what else? I forgot what else they said they'd do. They would do a string. What did they do? Tie a string or what?
Let her tell it.
I can't. Well, I'm trying to help her remember.
they, well, you know, used to, after we had babies, you'd have after pains. Terrible. Well, they put a pair of scissors under your mattress was supposed to cut that pain.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know nothing about the string. I
They
can't
were supposed
remember.
to, like, if they were on their deathbed, you'd tie a string around.
Oh, their
hand
fingers
or
so
their
they could ring a
something.
bell because they
Yeah.
they
I ain't heard that
They
one.
say they bury them prematurely. They wouldn't be dead yet.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I heard about
In
that.
case
They would.
wake up.
that's where the story Saved by the Bell comes from.
I guess so.
Because
Yeah.
if you were buried alive, and it happened a lot, they tied a string to your finger and they had a bell above your coffin. They dig a hole.
Right.
And if you were still alive, you'd ring the bell to say, "Hey, I'm here."
That's
And
what
that's what
Since
Saved
they
by the
did-
Bell means.
And since they did that, how many people were actually
A
ring
lot.
the bell? How many people rang the bell that were supposed to have been whatever?
None.
None.
What?
None. No one actually.
Nobody rang the bell.
When they did the bell thing.
air.
That's when Angel gets their wings.
That's where the term graveyard shift came from, because that's why they had a graveyard shift, is to go
Well,
listen for
when
out the
people
bell.
died, they
And-
laid them out on a cooling board, and people would, you wouldn't leave them by themselves, you'd sit up with them. And the men usually gathered out there and drank moonshine and had a good time while they sit with the corpse. And they said that they would sit up and,
Well, they do.
because they move.
Yeah, because the gas is in your body.
Yeah. And they tell you wild stories, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, they would.
What is your favorite memory as a child?
Oh, I don't know. I've about forgot now.
What's your worst memory about Mom?
About me.
I don't remember Bush.
Well.
She was a quiet baby, wasn't she?
I was
She
invisible.
was.
I was an invisible
baby.
child.
I was a quiet one too, wasn't I?
Is there sugar in that? I think that's on sweet. Did you make the tea?
Yeah, I messed it up. There was no more sugar.
Oh, John.
We just emptied up sugar.
I didn't see it.
You didn't put any in it.
I put the rest. It was in the picture.
It's over by the flower, over there.
Oh,
Over here.
4 scoops of sugar
Well.
and 2 Mickey Mouse cups of tea.
Oh boy.
You can still put sugar in
You
it
can. It's
now.
not cold.
Yeah, it's
so
not.
You can
Yeah.
sure.
Benjamin sounded like Mickey Mouse earlier today.
Did you get
Because his voice
cream for your coffee?
Yeah, they did over there.
Okay.
I like coloring.
Well, were you thinking
Those
I
are
was a
pictures.
bad child? I wasn't a bad child.
No, I just wanted her.
You know, she had to fight to survive, Alice.
Yeah,
Oh,
she tried to
Lord.
kill me nonstop.
I heard you got a pitchfork through your foot or something.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
We were playing in the Weeks' barn.
What'd you do when she came home with her pitchfork in her foot?
I didn't. I pulled it out first and then came and told her. I said, "Look what I did."
I don't remember what I did where you
We
gave
were
to
at the-
Mercy
Yeah, I had to go to the hospital and they cleaned it out
and gave
because it
you,
was a great big hole.
a tetanus shot.
That was here in Aiken, but then I fell in the ditch and had a great big hole in my knee.
That was down at
That was
Granny's.
at her mother's house.
You wish you would have left her in there sometimes?
We were jumping across this big ditch, which we all did, but we were ready to get in the car because they told us to get in the car 15 times, and then Granny or somebody said, "But let me ask you this one more thing." So our bleeding process was like hours, which we thought was
Imagine
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds a lot
Yeah.
like us.
We thought it was awesome because we'd get in the car and then we'd say, "You're not coming," so we'd get back out. So we'd get out and start playing again with all the millions of cousins that showed up. Because we always went to her mother's house at Granny's birthday time in January.
I remember going
I
over
remember
there. You
going
remember
to
going there
Granny's
too?
birthdays.
Yeah, the old White House.
Yep.
Huge
And a little bitty white
room.
person looked just like that. Except Granny was a lot more round and
She was-
fluffy.
Was she?
93 or something.
She was
92.
95, 96.
92.
when she died.
Yeah. So I fell in the
And
ditch. and-
spunky as she could be.
Oh, she was. She would pretend she couldn't hear until
Till you said
She
something.
said something you
said
didn't want her
something
to
we
hear.
didn't want her to hear. She'd say, "I heard that." But she could always hear the men. Their tone was different. But
She got where she couldn't hear. though,
yeah,
really.
she couldn't read, but she recognized every one of their handwritings when they would send her a birthday
I
card.
don't know why she didn't learn to read, because see, Grandpa was a circuit judge, and she got to go to school. She must have had something like that, Alexius.
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
Alexius.
Yeah.
And that just makes it really hard.
I'm
Yeah,
dyslexic.
but she recognized every one of you kids' handwriting. When they would send her a card, she couldn't read the card, but she'd say, "Yep, that's from Alice," and it'd have money fall out. And she'd say, "Yep, there you go." She would take the stuff out and say, knew who it was from every time.
She was a hard-working woman. When Daddy died, they didn't have anything. And John and Margie, Ned and John and Hazel were still home. They lived on somebody's farm, and Louise and them let them have that house there in Ocilla, because they had moved to Michigan and lived there. And she washed and ironed for people, bought her stove and refrigerator and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, because that's right.
And that's your
dad-
mother, right?
Your dad had died years before
Yeah,
that.
he died. He was about 62 when he died.
Yeah, but she was a lot younger than him, wasn't she?
10 years.
Yeah, that's a lot younger. Well, I guess not back then.
It was back then, too. But Grandpa came from a family of, they must have been 9 girls in his family.
Boy.
Sisters.
No, girl.
And they didn't want Mama to marry Daddy because he was 10 years old. They didn't want her to marry that old man. So them girls got her at their house and was teaching her to play piano and different stuff, trying to keep her from getting married. But she did anyway. Probably was a mistake because all she had to end after that was a bunch of kids.
girls.
Bunch of
Bunch
kids
of
and
girls
cars
again.
But they stuck it out.
Hold that.
Don't cut your.
Hold that.
But Hazel was the youngest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was the youngest child because she was younger than John. And she died
First.
this year sometime with leukemia. She never married.
Because there was 11 of you guys? 12?
12. There
And one
was
boy.
9 girls and a boy lived. And the three boys died. So,
Wasn't one of the babies allergic to milk?
No, that was hers.
That was her son.
One of yours was allergic to breast milk, wasn't he?
yeah.
He lived to be 3 months old and died on Christmas Day.
Mm. What was his name? Was John, wasn't it?
John Henry?
John Harold.
Harold.
Yeah. So was he just sick all the time?
Yeah, couldn't keep the milk down. Them doctors down there didn't have no sense. I knew after I got up here and Ivy was born that he had an allergy to milk. I knew then what he died with, but they said I didn't know how to take care of him and all this.
Wasn't getting enough food.
Yeah, but she'd feed him and he'd vomit all the time. I stayed in the doctor's office. Didn't do no good. So,
But you know, back it was amazing though that they didn't figure out to give him goat's milk.
they didn't.
That's just.
I tell you, them doctors down there, they weren't no good then and they ain't now.
And Aiken?
No, this was a
So,
seller.
they still ain't here either.
No, they're not.
No. Ever since they built this new hospital, they hadn't been worth anything.
The one over on, the one that's here now?
Yeah, Aiken Regional.
What was here?
Aiken County Hospital.
Is that where the health department is now?
Yeah.
It was a county-run hospital. Now this is a for-profit hospital.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's where,
So the health quality went down?
yeah, because it was
Absolutely.
for-profit instead of a community-based, everybody get help hospital. Even though that hospital, the black people were on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
It was that kind of hospital, so the black people could get help, but it was a big ward. I don't remember it, but that's what she said.
Yeah.
Well, that's hearsay.
No, she said.
Well, desegregation, how did that go for here
Huh?
when they desegregated everything?
They had riots in Augusta and burned and tore down things over there, but they didn't hear. Burnt dry cleaners and all that kind of stuff.
You remember Ray Charles and all those guys?
in Augusta.
Yeah. So they got it
Yeah.
stopped before it got
Yeah,
too
it
bad
didn't-
out of control.
It didn't do anything here.
They didn't have like picketers or like the schools.
Oh, you were born in 62, so you wouldn't remember the first part of it, but desegregation was what, 68?
Right, but I mean, the older kids.
You have to ask Larry that. I don't know. Because he graduated in '60s. He graduated.
Hey, I'm mess picking in them nails over there!
He graduated in '66, didn't he?
Who?
Larry.
black people call it?
Oh, I don't know.
65,
You have to ask him.
66. So
No, that's not what they call
He
it.
was the first one graduated out of this family. And you know,
Edit,
this
delete.
past year's the first time they haven't been a Tyndall in school, high school, in a lot of years.
since he
That's
started
true.
school, since
Larry, and then it went on down from my kids to grandkids and
Right.
Really?
all that.
I think
So
Pete,
this
Pete
year.
and AJ were the last ones, the last Tyndalls
Yeah,
to
when
go
they
to high school.
left, that was the last.
How many years of a span is that? Or
A lot.
probably Aiken High, too.
Yeah.
well, when he started.
Well, you graduated. Let's put it together. Start in the beginning. All right.
So
Larry,
Larry
from
is
66 to 2000.
he graduated in '66.
Okay, so then 62.
He's a, That's how old my Mr. Blau economics teacher is. He's
Larry
Larry.
Stone. So from
Larry!
62 to
You
2000.
still got them pickets? Get your pickets, Larry.
Shirley graduated 1 or 2 years after Larry, and then Jerry.
Okay.
You sit over there a second, because we wanted to ask a question.
When did you graduate?
67.
Okay, that's what I,
So from
And Shirley
1963.
graduated in 60.
9.
so
Okay.
1963,
Until when did Pete graduate?
Huh?
Pete graduated last year or the year before?
No.
He didn't graduate here. They moved to Colorado.
But last year.
But that was last year.
So 2010.
so
from
2000,
63
from 63 to 2010, there was a Tyndall
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, in high school.
47?
That's a lot.
47? Or 37?
And you remember Miss Babs?
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
that
you know,
name.
Was that the one
She
you-
came to Johnny's
Lives right there.
funeral.
Well, she came to their
His dad's
dad's 40th birthday that I gave a surprise birthday party.
I
I invited
remember
her
that.
as Miss Bab.
Yeah,
I invited
diapers.
her.
I remember a teacher showing up.
That was Miss
Well,
Bab.
you
She
know-
taught me, she taught him, she taught every one of us.
Mr. Wilson taught you too, right?
No. He was in horticulture. I didn't take that. I was in ROTC.
She called him Chief Wilson.
Well,
he was
Mr.
there.
Babs died this past year.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. I would have gone to the funeral.
Mr. or Miss?
Mr.
Mr.
Okay.
Bab.
Has she
He
already
was an
passed?
insurance.
Or she's still alive?
Yeah.
He was an insurance salesman
Yeah,
here in Aiken
yeah.
for years and years and years. But when I was at what's the name of the middle school?
Aiken
Schofield.
Schofield.
No, it was the
Schofield. Junior high?
No.
You didn't go to junior high.
yeah, I did.
Junior high changed over by then, weren't
Wasn't it
Where
Aiken
the police
Elementary?
department
they? Yeah.
was. What was
Schofield.
Schofield.
that? Aiken Junior High. is what it
Aiken
was
Junior
called.
High.
Yeah.
Aiken Junior High was up there where the nursing home is now.
Yeah, there's a nursing home and a
I
police
didn't know
station.
you went there. I thought they
I
already-
did. Well, see, I went there, Aiken Junior High.
Yeah.
So we went 2 years there, then we went 2 years at Schofield, and then I went 2 years of high school.
Yeah.
But we had a dance. The first dance I ever went to was the 7th and 8th grade. And Mr. Babb danced with me for the first time ever. And I was so embarrassed in all my life. I was so embarrassed. He was like, here, let me show you, because he was an old man then. I thought, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I was like, dancing with this old man. Like doing this.
And the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share.
I remember that one, Daddy. I got one of his enlargements, but I didn't remember that one. And she told me she'd send both of them, and she did. And I tried to pay her because she sent them like next day delivery. I said, that's expensive. But she shipped them that way.
That's pretty neat to be able to see where you lived
Yeah.
in that picture. Did you guys grow up in that house? Or is that
No,
before?
me and Johnny was married then. It lived on the same farm with them. That was their house. Our house was out back in a small house, and they lived in that one. Mom and Daddy, Mandy, Margie, Hazel, and John lived there then. And Dad was done getting bad health by that time. He died when they lived there.
How old was he?
62, I think.
So that's pretty young.
He had high blood pressure.
Because your mama lived to 92, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And they tell that, see, Mama was Daddy's second wife.
Oh,
His first wife died in that flu epidemic.
in that 1918 or something?
Yeah.
The Spanish flu?
She was 8 months pregnant. He lost his brother and sister and his wife and baby
Hmm.
in that.
That's sad.
Well, they didn't want her to marry. Grandpa didn't. Him, this old man. Because he was 10 years older than her. Well, they taken her up there to Mystic, which he had a lot of sisters. I remember one of them was named, well, I thought I remember. But I think he had about 8 sisters. Lived in Mystic, Georgia. And they got her up there to their house and teach her piano so she wouldn't marry him, but it didn't work. She was 18 when they got married, and I think they said, I don't know what age he was, but I believe they said 10 years. And all she got was a house full of babies, starving to death. That's all we ever got.
Yeah, that's a lot of kids. You're one of 12?
But she loved him. She really did. Didn't seem to bother her at all. And Hazel was the youngest one. I was going to show you a letter that Jeanette sent me Christmas. This. Was a Christmas card.
Was it that one that was about going home to Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to read that one last time. It was a poem.
Okay.
That was a cute...
I'm going to live with Jesus.
Yeah.
Spend Christmas with Jesus this year, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, I did too. And she wrote Hazel at the top of it. You don't remember them, do you?
I think I only remember your brother, John, right?
Yeah, 'cause he's come up here.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've met your sisters probably at your mom's funeral.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
John and Jeanette both not doing good now. John's got COPD, and he's skinny as a rail, which he's always been skinny. And Jeanette, when they went back from the funeral down here, and she got a flu shot, they said, and it paralyzed her in her back, and she was finally got up where she could walk with a cane. And last time I talked to her, they were supposed to try to figure out what it was that had caused her to do that. It was a spinal thing. So
That doesn't sound good.
John told me then, he said, you know, this is getting old. It ain't good. I said, no. Because she said he had to do all the everything. She couldn't get up to do any of it. And she was taking care of her mother, which is in a nursing home. She has Alzheimer's. She don't even know her. She said she sometimes said it's that nice lady that comes and visits her. She don't know it. It's so sad. And my sister, Louise, lives in Michigan with her daughter. She's got Alzheimer's, too. She used to call me once in a while. She don't do it anymore because they said it's just her memory don't get it, anymore.
Yeah. That's an awful thing to have.
It is. But I said, I'm getting there, too.
Hope
I
not.
hope not, but it seems that way.
As long as you remember me, everything's all right.
Okay. Johnny, when they was preparing for his wedding, he come over here and said, have you got any pictures of Papa? And I said, he said, a big one. And I said, yeah. I had several of them. But he went in there and looked in those pictures in the living room, and we had one in there with him with his work clothes on, propped up by the truck. And he got that, and I said, what you gonna do with it? It's a surprise. They put him on this piano, and Brittany's grandfather on this piano. Both of them was deceased.
Oh, that's good.
And mentioned that in the wedding write-up, And they said, I didn't stay when I went to the rehearsal. Francis, I need you in that wedding. Well, I come. So I went. And they taken them so long to get it planned out, it was already getting dark. And I said, I gotta go home. But they told me that they showed slides of him when he was a baby and her when she was a baby.
That's cute.
Yeah, and Nita said, you should have stayed. I cried through the whole thing. That's Francis' sister. And they just called her grandma because she's the only grandma on that side,
Yeah.
which is Francis' sister. But it was a nice wedding. And I can't go to Danielle's, but I can't. I had to.
Where is it?
It's April. It seems like the 27th.
Is it here?
No, it's in something.
Okay.
Brittany, she had herself a good time dancing just like you did. When they had the reception at Hounds Lake. And you go in Hounds Lake, go up this way, this floor right here is reserved for the close ones.
Yeah.
And I went on up there, and I stood up there and watched her. She was down there with that gown held up that way with her barefoot just dancing away. She did have a good time. Johnny, I seen him and I said, you sitting this one out, huh? He said, yeah. And I said, you want something to drink? No. I said, you want a beer? No. So right till she come up there, she was sopping wet as wet. And he had her something to drink. But they looked like they had a good time. Johnny's quiet, so he don't do much. But her mother and daddy was divorced, both remarried. Two different families, you know. So when they walked them down the aisle, her daddy walked her down the aisle, and then they had a thing up there that the parents lit the candles. So he had to get his ex-wife and walk up there and light the candles. But it didn't seem to bother him.
Mom and Dad are getting along better now, too, it seems.
They are. They really are. I'm glad to see that, because the only thing this does is destroy you. Bitterness will destroy you. If you can forgive, that's the best feeling they are. Just and go on about your business. It's all in the past, and nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
And your mom worked awful hard all these years. And there was a whole lot of gossip about her. It was not true. And your grandmother had a way of doing that.
Yeah.
So it was sad. You know, she set out actually to destroy them, but she destroyed herself instead. Sure did.
Yep.
Because Brenda wanting the kind of wife she wanted for him, but I don't think she'd ever found one that was what she thought was right for him. But y'all went through a lot, but it seemed like y'all on the right path now.
Yeah.
All of you seem like you are. Except John now.
Yeah, but at least he's not on probation anymore.
No.
So that's a start. I think he's just got to learn to be happy by himself.
I told Brenda, I said, he needs something to hold on to stake your faith and trust in, the Lord Jesus Christ. And if you can get him to that, and when things get tough, Jesus don't let you down. You've got to have something to hang on to when things is going bad or when they're good, even at that. But I didn't get to talk to him while he was here.
Yeah. Well, he's off tomorrow, so hopefully you'll get a chance to say hello. And
I don't know whether he listened or not. I talked to Jerry down there till he was blue in the face. He's got his license back now, and I hope that he's going to straighten himself out. He'll come over and see me. He heard I was sick and came over. And he's got a place out there on Talata Church Road, past Rebecca's, past the church. that he helped this guy build an apartment over the garage, and that's where he's renting. They say it's real nice. And he's got him a chicken pen going again. First person I ever seen it staked out a rooster. I've heard of staking out cows, staking out pigs, and all this, but he didn't have it built. And so he put a rope around chickens up. Put it on a concrete box. And it couldn't go nowhere.
And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him.
Her dad, this farmer. We had a ton of girls.
Yeah. Can't relate. Your children are your farm hands, and he just had a bunch of girls.
Why?
They had to work like boys.
Why isn't there any grass in the yard?
They didn't let grass grow in their yards back then. You was a lazy person if you let grass grow in your yard.
Oh.
Solid dirt, and my sisters used to work the field till Saturday night, come home, they'd get the yard brooms and the lantern to go out there and sweep the yards so their boyfriends could come on Sunday and see it was clean.
Wow.
I'm telling you, they did not have grass in their yards.
Crazy how much things have changed, because now if you don't have a yard full of pretty grass, it's really easy for that.
Yeah. But I just wanted to show them to you. I just got them not too long ago. She sent them to me.
Where did she get the actual picture from in order to blow it up?
My mama had them made. They used to hang on her wall, and I didn't remember this one. But I told Hazel I did that one. It was in, and he used to come stay with me and Larry was a baby.
Really?
And I wish that had been over so I could have talked with him more about his life, you know. But I was.
Well, you were only 15 when you had Larry, right? 15
well,
when you got married.
Almost 16.
Okay. So you were 15 when you got married?
Yeah.
So you got married at 15, 9 months later, before you turned 16.
Well, actually 10 months later when Larry was born. We've been married 10 months.
Yeah, that's got to make any marriage easy starting out.
Far too young.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, I know what you mean.
What did you guys do for Christmas when you were little?
You didn't have, well, we always in Georgia, you got a pine tree in Georgia. There just wasn't no Christmas trees growing down that much. So we get a pine tree and make all the chains and decorate the tree. Oh, we have a ball doing that. And one year, I remember we, some way or another, we put candles all over that tree. And everybody after we got through to come in there and turn the light off. Looked at it, we thought it was wonderful.
You didn't burn nothing down?
No, we didn't leave it on.
Oh.
And it was pretty. Mom and Dad used it to let us do whatever we wanted to. But the first thing I remember about the Christmas tree, my sister, she was married then, I guess, my oldest sister. And she dug out that trim out of the trunk, and I thought that was so amazing because I didn't remember ever seeing it before. And decorated the tree, the garland.
Yeah.
But he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other.
Any type of dance or whatever were you
Only the Baldwin sisters,
Yeah, something like that.
the rich ladies.
And we farmed for them rich ladies and men.
They were the help sitting out listening to all the happenings, along with all the Negro slaves.
We were just like them.
I know, that's what I'm saying, with the sharecroppers you were.
Just like them.
Yeah.
Except we done all this work and they didn't.
Yeah.
Did you guys own any slaves?
No.
Do you remember?
No, that was over before I come
Yeah,
along.
she was born in 1932.
Yeah, that was after the slavery.
Oh.
Larry said that Black said over at the plant, if he becomes president, y'all will be our slaves. I said, Larry, them people don't know a thing in the world about slavery. Not at all, because it's after their time.
Yeah. Don't eat her cookies. Oh. You
Who?
should have got 3 of your own.
Who's?
We brought Carmen.
Oh. She was, when they left, she was being ornery to Sarah.
She was doing what?
Sean had to make her.
Mm.
She was going to go in that house when they got over there, you know. We got to go in that house. And Sarah kept saying,
Oh, Rebecca's house?
we're not going to go in there. You said, Carmen, she's already chosen. So she kind of got nipped, you know. It's going to take some getting it out of her.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sean's been on shift for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember you used to come after us with a wooden spoon. Don't make me get my spoon on you.
Nonnie would.
That's what I'm saying, Nonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Spoon hole, man.
Did it make you mind? Was you afraid of it?
Yeah, I was terrified of that spoon. Even if you pulled out the cook. No! No!
Well, Brandon, Captain Brandon, he ain't afraid of it.
Wow.
And she has that 1, 2, 3. Well, he keeps going and she don't do nothing.
Well, that's why she don't care.
Now, Sean, he don't do that with him.
The kids always listen better when their father's talking to them or whatever. Always. Makes me mad as ever.
That's the way we were. We'd say we was going to do something, and somebody would say, you better not, you know what Daddy said. Well, you didn't do it then. Daddy said it. Mama said it, and it fell through.
Why is this?
So did you ever go on vacation with your family, like when you were little?
I showed it on TV that people did, but the only vacation things we had.
Yeah, your mom shut you out of the house and y'all went down to the pond.
And we'd go visit our relatives, but we wouldn't stay overnight, never. And that was an outing, like on a weekend, we'd go see them, but we didn't ever spend the night.
Why not?
My daddy didn't believe in spending the night, he believed in going home.
How far were they away?
That was pretty good piece from us. But anyway, we kids would go spend the night with our friends, you know. But no vacation. We get to go to town. That was a treat. Real treat. I remember the first time we went to Fitzgerald. That was the town.
Come here, charger. Fitzgerald?
Mm-hmm. Close to where Mama lives now. And we had a neighbor named Wheeler Grantham. They didn't have no children. And we went with them. Whole truckload of us. And we got there, he liked to go to the movies. And he asked Dad if we could go with him. Me and Martha and Mandy. I don't remember who Margie went or not. Well, we went with him. Well, we didn't care nothing about sitting there and watching. Three Stooges was what it was. Didn't care a thing in the world about that. We wanted to get out and see the town. So my sister told him that we was going back to where Daddy was. So we got outside and I said, I don't know the way. Martha said, I do. I counted the street as we come. So she knew how to get us back there. Shoot, it was more exciting outside than it was in that movie.
How much did it cost? 5 cents, 10 cents?
Probably. And another time we went with them to Fitzgerald with my sister and her husband and them two. And me and Martha went with them. I don't remember why we went. But after, must have seen the movie, because we were coming back, they stopped at a restaurant and ordered a hamburger. And that was that hamburger that big. And he ordered us one. And that was the most wonderful thing I thought I had ever had.
Had you ever had one before?
No. And then when they got through, him and my brother-in-law, they had cake pies in the cooler thing you could see. They wanted a piece. They said, y'all want a piece? Of course, we wouldn't say nothing. We looked at her brother. She said, you can have it. He's going to. Oh, that was so good. A treat for sure.
Voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the joy we share as we tarry there.
I put it away. Did you get it made?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I put it in the refrigerator.
Okay. I call Larry, he makes all the tea now. I said, Larry, we got.
I know, yeah, it's too Larry!
Nonnie was talking in her sleep at the hospital. I was like, Mom, I'm just waiting for her to go, Larry!
That was so funny. I said, oh, Naomi, that is too cute. Because she was just kind of like, she said, I can't sleep. I just not been able to sleep. And the minute she sat there, she was like, oh, that was fast. But she laid there, and Naomi's just watching her, and she says, just wait. She's gonna yell for Larry in a minute.
One night I was having a dream. I sleep back in, Larry sleeps up there, you know. And I was dreaming, I was hollering just hollering. Because somebody was breaking in the house, what I thought.
Oh.
But I didn't know I was actually doing it.
Oh, you were actually out loud yelling?
Yeah, I didn't know I was doing it. Larry come back there, running back in. Mama, what's the matter? I said, I had a bad dream. So next day he said, go to sleep and don't have no more nightmares.
Is there silverware in here? Did you
Yeah,
throw buttons
they
away?
kept old knives. I said, I'm not keeping it no more. They're not working.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Okay, because I took them out and put them back in the sink.
You did? I thought, well, I missed them.
I did.
I was about to say, what happened? I was like, did somebody throw your dishes away?
I found them in the trash and I was like, put them back.
But this time they're getting thrown away.
I thought Ben might have did it or
We all
something.
have hoarder tendencies. No, you ain't throwing that away. It's still there.
That's a perfectly good knife. They still got gold on them.
Tomorrow, we're going to
shiny.
got back in there.
Oh, what?
Well, how many toes you got left? How many toes you got left?
Yeah, how nice
Three
of
of
you,
each
baby.
foot.
3 of each
Sean,
foot.
yeah. This is what we need.
If I had as many good teeth as you have toes, we'd be all right.
Hello.
How are you supposed to save this? Save it.
Then all these major.
Save the food for big
When I get through putting it in a glass at night, it ain't much to lay down and go to sleep with.
Oh.
take out your hearing aid, take out your teeth, but I don't have a hearing aid, I probably need one.
It is hot in here.
Yeah, it is.
Stop opening the door.
It went from popular to outdated and now it's vintage and it's way in again. What is?
The pantry.
The wallpaper?
Oh, the wall.
No, it's back in style.
Yeah, I was like, it's bad.
I like
You
it.
just wait long enough, he'll come back.
It is. It's back
Good.
in style.
It's great.
No, I was like, it's coming back.
It
I
is.
was like,
I love it.
Told you so.
People pay a lot of money for this wallpaper.
I tell you what, I like them lamps in that back bedroom. Those are nice.
The ones in that pink room?
The green one, green and orange painted.
Oh, you're claiming those?
No, I said I like them.
Oh, I thought you meant he was putting his name on it. He's claiming those.
No, I like them though.
Carmen claimed the whole pink bathroom.
Every time she went to the bathroom, she said, "Can I go to the green one now? Blue one now?"
She's
pink one
she's
this
pooped
time."
in all your toilets. She's just making her way around.
That one up the hall, you remember it had horses.
Yes. That one, that green one up the front one.
Changed the wallpaper
I don't remember
there.
horses.
That front one.
It was like, I just remember it was the green one, but it was green.
But it had the yellow
Yeah,
box
it had
with horses.
horses and everything on the wallpaper.
I think me and Anna redone it.
We did, this one was purple, wasn't it? No, our front bedroom, that was my bedroom and Alice's bedroom and Cindy's bedroom and
We
I think
did
we're
their
all 2 or 3.
bedroom, me and Anna did it, hanging wallpaper.
But the bathroom was what color to begin with?
White, wasn't it?
No, it had a big black bathtub. Remember that big giant black bathtub?
Oh, I remember
Well, it had
There's a lot of ice.
wallpaper too.
You probably got
It had some kind of.
Yeah, it was a blue flower,
Ah,
like,
okay.
you know,
I couldn't
striped.
remember because I know that bathtub was giant.
7 by 7.
Yeah. Oh, I knew it was bigger
And when
because whoever it was, when you guys got bigger, y'all could lay down in the bottom of it and not
You
touch
put all
the
like
end.
15 cousins in there with
Uh-huh.
underwear on.
I
That big
can't
black
believe we got rid
bathtub.
of that. Before
Some of us didn't have
Carmen had a
underwear on.
chance.
Gee, Nonnie did.
Yeah, I hate that thing.
I know. That's what I told her today, and she was just like, "Oh, I hate that."
I remember the jacuzzi in the room right there.
Yeah, Nonnie
That
got
was
rid of
a-
that.
Oh, that was awesome.
I sold that.
I wasn't there for that.
They had to get a crane to come get it back out the roof.
No, we didn't. They wouldn't even have to put it in that way. But Ivy and Elliot came over here and it went out that door. They said he didn't even need no crane.
Well, how did they do that?
Well, he just thought you had to. We cut that black bathtub too, thinking it wouldn't.
Oh,
come
the
out.
sawzall probably.
It would come out the door too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Can you go get the crayons, please? I mean,
Nonnie's like, I spent a lot more money than I needed to putting all that stuff in there because it didn't even need to be like that.
Nicholas said, always told me if I ever got rid of that black tub, he wanted it.
It's all sentimental.
So
I know.
I told him to call him. Well, when they called him, he said he didn't remember saying that. So we take it out, cut it in two, and throw it away.
No, because all
You can make a fish pond out of them things.
Oh,
Waterfall stuff
we
down.
should have done
when I
that.
started.
Could have just buried it.
Yeah, the first one and then
And
second
then
one.
then all these kids could have still been swimming in that black bathtub.
But the night around me is falling, but he bids me go through the voice of war. His voice to me is calling. And
It's dark, it's wonderful.
I tell you, I don't know how in the world your mother made it. Work all night, try to sleep a little bit there today.
No, but Mom would make us take naps in her room with her, and I don't know, but she could somehow still see you.
I know.
She knew exactly where
I
you
know
were.
well
You were
enough to
trying
know
move.
that if I worked all night, just getting the kids to take a nap would not be enough.
Well, that's what I had to do. I know one day I was so exhausted. I had worked so hard because I didn't get any days off. I would work 30 and 45 days straight. So between the two, and Ben was little, and all I could think
Someone
about.
was always breaking something.
No, he was little, but then I don't know why he was at home with me while I was trying to sleep. And I didn't have anybody to watch him, and Alan, I don't know what he was doing. But I needed to sleep. My skin hurt, my hair hurt. I was just that exhausted. So I finally called as a last resort. I said, Mom, please, please just let me come over and lay down. I promise you it will be good. Let me just lay down and sleep for a couple hours while the others are in school. And so I did. I drove over here, no shoes, nothing, just whatever I looked like. Put him in the car. Said, you know, I drove over here and I was just like, here, just let me lay down for at least a few hours. I would have never been so
How old,
exhausted.
you're 25, John?
Yes, sir.
I bet you've never been to a weekend like this.
Where's, what's her name?
Carmen?
Is no matter how much we sleep,
At
we're just
Rebecca's.
like, we just can't get caught up.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
it's
at
like,
Rebecca's.
yeah, Rebecca took her and I was like, well, now we won't get to see her to say goodbye. Neither will he.
Yes, why not?
He won't.
I leave at 4:30 in the morning.
What time you going home?
Huh?
What time you gonna be home?
About 4.
PM.
Between 3:30 and 4.
Well, we might as well be realistic now and say we're still gonna be here.
Huh?
Because if we have to meet Jesus lunchish and then go from Clearwater to Augusta,
Well,
that's
if
gonna be like
you're
noon
gonna be here
one.
at that time, I'll pick Naomi up and come. Wait, I can't. I had a little work tomorrow. Dang it. Oh, well, I was just gonna pick her up and come back
Well,
over.
that's-
I can't. I gotta go to work. Okay. That doesn't work.
Good talk. Bad at it.